Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a great time at the summit so far. I'm very excited to talk about Amazon Nova, our foundation model, and to share some practical, cool use cases with you. My name is Olympia. I'm a solution architect at AWS, and I'm thrilled to share the stage with our customer Siemens. We have Melanie, product owner, and Fabian, IT architect at Siemens. So this is what you're going to get out of this session today. First, you'll get a quick overview of how businesses like Amazon.com are leveraging generative AI. Then I will introduce you to the foundation models of Amazon Nova and their capabilities. Then you'll see Nova in action. So you'll get to see Siemens use case and other customers like Prime Video and Amazon Advertising. So businesses like yours are using generative AI to do some amazing things, to drive efficiencies across your teams. And examples include intelligent document processing or having a domain expert assistant for things like customer support or coding. And at Amazon, we are no different. At Amazon, we have more than 1,000 generative AI applications in motion. And let me walk you through some of the most prominent examples. Let's take the example of Amazon Advertising. They are using multimodal content generation to lower the barrier for vendors to generate video advertisements. Another example is Prime Video. They're actually using multimodal content understanding to produce a narrated recap of an entire series season. Then we have AWS that is using generative AI for improving the customer support experience and for improving developer productivity through Amazon Q Developer. Then, of course, we have our legal and finance terms that are also using generative AI to drive efficiencies in complex use cases like analyzing thousands of contracts documents. So having seen all of these use cases, we have built foundation models to help our internal builders as well as external customers. So I'm very excited to introduce to you Amazon Nova. It's a family of foundation models that delivers frontier intelligence and state-of-the-art models with industry-leading price performance. When we speak about Nova models, there are different types of models. If you want to analyze text, images, videos, then you can choose from the understanding models. You have Nova Micro, Lite, Pro, and Premier that take different input types and produce text as an output. And if you want to generate images, you would use Nova Canvas. And if you want to generate videos, you make use of Nova Reel. And for speech-to-speech in real time kind of use cases, you can use Nova Sonic. Now, you might be wondering, what do all of these models have in common? Well, all of the Nova models are incredibly fast, capable, and very cost-efficient. They are exceptional use cases like retrieval augmented generation and agentic workflows. They are built with security in mind, so they have responsible AI built in. And they are available in Bedrock, so it's easy for you to test them out and use them in your application. Now, we made sure that all of these important attributes are shared among all the models, but you might be wondering what sets them apart. So let's start with the Nova understanding models. They are all generally available, and they support across 200 different languages. Starting with Nova Micro. Micro is the fastest text-to-text model. It is very cost-efficient and is good for simple use cases like summarizing a call transcript or intent classification. If you want to also analyze images and videos, then you can make use of Nova Lite. Nova Lite brings multimodal capabilities at the lowest cost. And it is suitable for those use cases where you have documents with images and charts, or when you want to extract data from your handwritten notes. If you want a more capable model, then you can use Nova Pro. So Pro is good for use cases that are complex, like planning agentic workflows or analyzing videos. Lastly, Nova Premier. This is our most capable model, and it can also be used as a teacher for model distillation. It comes with a context length of 1 million tokens, and it's good for use cases of analyzing large code bases, documents, and videos. Now, I mentioned before that out of the box, you get best price performance. And you can choose between the model that is good for a use case in terms of accuracy, needs, latency, and cost. However, what you can also do is you can customize models and improve their performance. For example, we can fine-tune Amazon Nova Lite and increase the performance of it close to Amazon Nova Pro. Let's look at the capabilities of Nova understanding models through some examples. So here I want to show you the capability for video understanding. We asked Nova, hey, can you describe this football game? And it comes up with this rich and detailed output. And what I want to show here is that we do not sample images and feed them to the model, but rather the model processes the video natively, therefore capturing every transition and every movement on how this football game is being evolved. In this other example, I want to show Nova capabilities in handwriting understanding. So we can give to Nova our handwritten notes and say, hey, can you transform this one into JSON? Let's see this example through a demo. So we ask Nova to transform this whiteboard into JSON. And after we have asked this, we go ahead and we upload the image of our whiteboard. As soon as we do that, Nova will come up with a structured JSON format. All right, so those were our understanding models, but let's move on to the entertaining part of generating images and videos. So we have Nova Canvas and Nova Reel to generate images and Nova Reel for generating videos. So Nova Canvas is our state-of-the-art foundation model that generates high-quality images and offers the advanced set of features for image generation and image editing. Here we are asking Canvas to generate an image of a young lady smiling, standing in the sunlight. What you can also do are things like in-painting. And in-painting basically allows you to add, replace, or remove elements within an image. So here we have added this group of swans in the lake. You can also do outpainting, and this basically replaces the background of an image. Here we have replaced this Amazon truck background from a highway to a street view. Another cool feature is the color palette. So if you want to control the colors of the generated image, then you can just send as a prompt the hex colors of the hex codes of the colors that you want Canvas to use. You can also, of course, do background removal just by simply prompting it. That was the image generation model. Now let's move on to the video generation one. That's Nova Reel. So it's a foundation model that can generate videos with high quality, either from text or images, and they can be up to 2 minutes long. Let's see some use cases. Here we have a man standing in the sunlight with some slow camera movement. We can also generate this seashell, large seashell in the sand, again with some camera zoom in. You can be more creative if you want to, and generate this mushroom sitting on the couch, drinking a cup of coffee. Why not? And for those of you who didn't have lunch yet, at least you can have this crispy cheeseburger with melting cheese and some fries on the side. So basically, whatever you can dream up, you can build it. Nova will help you to bring it into life. The last model that I want to speak about is Nova Sonic, and this is our state-of-the-art speech-to-speech model. It will be useful for conversations in real time. You can use it for as a voice assistant. You can use it as a customer support with voice interactions, or for training, for education, for language learning. How does it work? So Nova Sonic will take speech as an input, and it will produce speech and text as an output in real time. Let's hear this example of Nova Sonic in a customer support example.
Hi, I need help tracking an order I placed last week.
I'd be happy to help. Let me pull up your order details and recent shipping updates. Could you please confirm your order number?
Sure, it's 783281.
Got it, thank you. I'll take a look. I see there's a recent update from our logistics partner that due to a weather delay, it's now scheduled to be out for delivery on Monday, March 20th.
Oh, but I won't be home on Monday.
No problem. Let me reschedule. Would Tuesday work for you?
Yes, that works.
Great. I've updated the delivery date for Tuesday, March 21st.
Thank you. Could you also send me an email with all the updated information?
Of course. I've just sent an email with revised delivery details. Please check your inbox.
Great. Appreciate the quick support.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help and that you're happy with the quick support. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask. Have a wonderful day.
So I don't know about you, but for me it was actually tough to understand who was the human in that conversation. All right, so moving on, now that you saw an overview of Nova Foundation models, it's time to see them in action. First, I want to invite Siemens on stage to walk us through their journey on building a customer-facing AI search.
Thank you so much. And a warmly welcome also from my side. My name is Melanie, and I have Fabian with me today. He's our solution architect and built with us our AI-powered search solution. So we will have time to walk quickly through the digital journey of Siemens, and you will see practical insights and learnings from the new technology. So. Let's jump back to a year where the World Wide Web was not even invented. Smartphones were not really existing. It's a year 1986. Maybe you remember the day, maybe you were born in this day, your children were born in this day, in this year. But yeah, Siemens signed up in this year for the first commercial domain Siemens.com website. So after 39 years, we are having a completely different web experience. We are talking about more intuitive, more digital experiences. But 39 years ago, that was different. We signed up for the domain. So that was just the beginning, and now we are talking a lot about chatbots, about AI-powered searches, and more intuitive connections to our customers. What started with a simple domain registration has now ended on a different way to talk to our customers. We want to interact differently with our customers, and they also want to interact differently with ours. So, sometimes it's really hard for our customers to find the information they are really looking for, because with all the different digital interactions we have, there sometimes comes complexity in the game. So we have all these different interaction points where you can get in touch with us, but for customers it's not always easy to find the right contact point and the right information. And for that, frustration can grow if you don't find the real information you were looking for. So we talked a lot with our customers to find out what are the real pain points for them. what are they struggling with and how can we solve these problems. So we spoke recently to technicians, engineers, solution architects to find out what are the pain points and how can we better empower them to find the information they were looking for. So they said they often have to sift through different marketing pages, a lot of different pages on our websites to find the actual information they were looking for. So imagine you want to find an information, you first have to find the page where the information is, and second, you need to find the information on that page. So you don't want to have this long journey in finding information, and you especially don't want to have this for your customers. It's not only an UX problem finding this information, it's also a productivity killer, because they told us it slows them down if they didn't find the right information on point. And imagine what they can do, your customers, when they have time to focus on their task. Maybe they build a new factory, maybe they involve new projects where they can use your help in. So that's really important that we use these real user insights to come up with a solution that really brings value to our customers. So we took that frustration seriously and built something new. And let's get a little bit into the details. I will show you a great video that will display the solution we built in more detail. So now you have seen the AI search in action, but what does it really mean for our customer? Why did we invent this and why brought we this to life on our website? First, personal interaction. I already told you that the behavior of our customer, they are changing. They want to interact differently. They are used of different chatbots, ChatGPTs out of this world, and they want to have a different interaction on our website. You have the opportunity to customize these experience for them. So imagine we have, for example, a specific guideline how we want to interact with our customers. So we have a guideline that said that we want to interact with our customer in a specific way. And we can prompt the AI that these AI models reacted the same way a human would do, using the same language, the same style of voice to interact with our customers, to get instant answers that will save them time. Because as I said, they will find the information directly on the page. They can ask any questions they want to. We are crawling the content for them, all the Siemens content we have. Currently, more than 20 different domains integrated. That means a lot of content, and they normally need to go all these different search results. Instead, we are providing a summary, and they can ask the question they want to, and they get instant answers. And that, of course, saves them time at the end to really focus on the most important things. They can look on screens, they can look on the way at home or on the way to work, so it's everywhere available on the mobile device, on a desktop device. The system is always available and integrated on our main website. So there's no access required, it's the normal search where we pull all the external information that is available in the internet on our websites together. And then last but not least, we actually saw in user insights that people from all over the world, they're using browser plugins to translate the content they need in different languages. So it's really important that people all over the country, they're using different languages, and it's important that they have the feeling that they can ask every question, every language they want to. And with this technology, we have the opportunity that customers and users can ask questions in every language. The system understands the language and answers in that language. So now we are diving deeper a little bit in the technology. to finding the key aspects of the technology. I know I'm talking a lot about search today, but basically you can use all these different elements for all AI technologies you want for. So let's say the AI summary. So we're using all the information that we pull from the search currently, which is more than 20 different domains. Use all the information, read the content for our customers. Imagine you have a small little assistant. He reads all the manuals, technical documentation your customers are interested in, and the customer will get a response to users' questions, or will get a summary. Sometimes it's just useful to have a summary to get an overall idea about the product, maybe. Second, we have the smart link integration that puts the links in relation to the text. So maybe you want to deep dive in the specific topics, or you want to double check the documents. We have seen a user pattern, and generating text, it's not always that they trust it from the first view. They sometimes need to double check the content, and therefore it's really valuable to have the document installed on the page itself. And third, the content generation. So you all know that. You probably do this every day if you're using common AI models as well. Generating content, that could be basically everything. You can generate content in the search topic. For example, if users want to use the search and they don't know how to write your product, you can just suggest them keywords, phrases, questions. You can also use content generation to create meta descriptions. So I'm not sure if I have SEO expert in this room, but they will probably understand the issues with descriptions. So if users click on a link, they want to understand what's behind this link, what's visible after clicking on this link. And sometimes authors have to fill in this information, and sometimes it's just easy if you generate the content automatically, and you don't have to worry about the content itself and the quality. So these parts, so as I said, I talked a lot about search, but you can basically use every use case you want to if you're building an AI technology. Just focus on customer needs. So if you don't have a use case that brings value to your customers, I can tell you people will not use it. So it's important to find the right use case for your company, for your customers. And we did that by asking real customers, using research methods to really get into our customers' mind and find more about their experiences and their needs. So, but let's keep it real. We want to see now an example what the AI search can do. Imagine I would ask for a specific topic. I want to start with, tell me more about the portfolio from Siemens. So you probably know the answer. I do as well. But let's see what AI is generating for. So AI gives me an answer back that is pretty convincing. Siemens AG produces wash machines, ovens, dishwashers. Let me double check, because if I remember correctly, that's not right. This information looks in the first view, it looks very good, convincing. But from the second view, I mean, even if you have, maybe you have a dishwasher from Siemens at home or a wash machine. Who of you has still a wash machine? I see hand raised, great. So you know the wash machines are existing from Siemens, but that was a long time ago. Siemens AG was producing these wash machines and home appliance. Right now, we are not producing Siemens wash machines anymore. That's a separate company. So what happens here? The AI took outdated information from a press release maybe 20 years, 30 years ago, put it in the wrong context. And that's some of the risks that can happen if you're working with AI technologies. Putting information into the AI system, people are asking questions, and you will get a response that is maybe not in the correct wording, in the correct way you want to present things. So it's really important to understand that working with AI, there are risks. We have to address these risks. And how we do it, we will see on the next slide. Because we have responsibility here. Just pushing these AI technologies to life is not enough. We have responsibilities we need to address. So cybersecurity, for example, you don't want to be in the news for some manipulation or Gen AI risks you just ignored. So be sure that you took your cybersecurity colleagues with you on board before you're actually delivering something and put something to life. Because you really want to have them as friends and collaboration and not as enemies at the end of the day. Second, transparency. For us, it's not enough that people see an answer. They also need to understand that where the AI response is coming from. So we need to double check in case we need it, why the AI gave that specific answer. So we have actually a prompt specific to say in different ways why the answer is the way it was. And for the user, always visible that they are using Gen AI right now. So we have a disclaimer on the page. We have terms and conditions, clearly say what is the use of our Gen AI models and which data is used for that models. So third, we are creating access to really trust our AI technologies. Because if we just test our technology, it's great. We use the same questions every day to test the models, but that's not enough. We need more use cases to really test that we are sure that we can rely on the system. Because it's simply, we can't allow a wrong answer on Tuesday, a good one on Wednesday, and after that we maybe have a wrong answer again. So we have to make sure that always on every day, at every time, we are getting the correct answers from the AI models. The first is the human aspect in the technologies. I always hear that sentence, I'm sure you heard it before, AI will replace humans. But that's not true in our case. We definitely need humans to control the AI search, to say how the AI search should behave. And in our case, we always have the possibility to react in some kind of ways. If there is, imagine if there's out there on outside an environment something happening in the world, and the AI model is not already aware of that, we have always the possibility to react quickly. If there's a crisis, if there is just a Siemens content going on that we want to push in a specific way, or where we need to react in a specific statement in the press release and so on, we always have the chance to react and to put something in the AI search, or even remove words and topics completely if we need that too. And the last point is really important, the collaboration between the teams and especially with our legal and compliance colleagues. If you're working with Gen AI technologies, you need to identify the risks working with them, and you need to bring your colleagues on board, that you really have a common understanding what the risks are and how you can prevent them. Because even the best technology, it will not work if you have colleagues there standing from the side and will not trust in your solution. At the end, we did it. Actually, it's quickly dive deeper in our story we had. It was one day before all go live. We were really proud of ourselves. We delivered a great technology. And one day before we wanted to go live, the team was approaching us and said, we can't go live with that. And that was a shock, because we were really proud of our solution. We tested our system, but we didn't define the edge cases and all the edge cases from different perspectives. So I just recently heard 70% of AI projects are failing. And I strongly believe if you look all of the risks and you really concentrate on the collaboration between the teams, that you can prevent these risks and you bring your AI technology to life at the end of the day. I wish I had these learnings earlier, but I'm glad we did those things together. Glad that we have a tech deep dive with me on stage, and he will go more into the technical aspects of the technology.
Thanks, Manny. So after seeing all these great features, let's check and see how they translate into the system architecture, and also talk about Nova's performance. First, cornerstone of our AI search is that we have a multi-layer defense mechanism. That means we have guardrails in place that check the query in the very beginning already, and also in the end, to make sure that everything works as implemented and that the guardrails are applied accordingly. Second cornerstone is that we have stakeholder-driven repositories. That means we have dedicated knowledge bases in place that allow for fast retrieval of information. For instance, specific statements about the CEO, about specific businesses, or also specific statements if people ask for topics that are on an embargo list, for instance. The architecture also features a specialized agent setup. That means we have purpose-built agents with defined tasks and roles. For instance, to validate the query or to classify the intent of the user or detecting the language to ensure that the web search process is streamlined and efficient. And finally, we have a continuous validation testing in place. Meanwhile, it's about 20,000 test cases that we run on a regular basis to make sure that all the things are working as desired, especially when you upgrade components or change models or prompts, things behave differently, and we want to make sure that everything is working correct. Right, so let's take a closer look at the architecture behind the search that we've built together with our great team at Groundfork, our solution partner. Cornerstone of this is Amazon Nova models, and the actual execution of the business logic and the agents is done by AWS Lambda, which is a easy way to run code without caring about infrastructure. Right, so what happens? As a first step, you enter the search query, right? It then reaches an orchestrating Lambda function that's taking care of the initial request, right? In the next step, we talk to our validation agents. That means the query is checked against an initial blacklist, and if it's already deemed to be invalid, the user is presented with a specific statement and the execution is ended. Then in parallel, intent and language agents are starting to check what did the user want, right? What is the language that the user is using? Because we, as Manny said before, we want to make sure that we reply in the user's language so that there's no need for additional translation in the end. And then, depending on the classified intent, the query is directed to relevant search backends. For instance, product search, semantic search, or also a recent fact knowledge base. Then, search results are passed to special summarizers. The job of those summarizers is to condense the statement and the information into concise summaries so that it's easier for users to digest. And then, before delivering the actual search results, the guardrail agents review the answers to ensure that they adhere to our strict policies and guidelines. And then, if the initial response doesn't pass the guardrails, another rewriting agent reformulates the answer to meet the necessary standards. And then in the end, the final approved response is sent back to the user, providing them with the fast, accurate, and relevant information. So, as you can see, this multi-agent system built on AWS, powered by Amazon Nova, ensures a robust, efficient, and compliant search experience for the users. So, let's look back at our washing machine example. Right, as you can see, this time, guardrails are operational, statement is correct. We learned Siemens doesn't build washing machines anymore, so this is the correct answer. So I think this example greatly shows what is important. The system doesn't just rely on the model itself. It validates information to ensure accuracy. The guardrails play a crucial role in the process and ensure that the response is relevant and correct. This combination of AI and the validation ensures that the users receive trustworthy and reliable information every time they search. So now let's take a moment to talk about one of the most impactful improvements that we've made behind the scenes, the model powering it all. In the beginning of our journey, I think it was beginning of last year or so, Nova wasn't available yet on Bedrock. So we had to rely on competitors' models because Amazon didn't have its own foundation models available yet. Once Amazon released Nova on Bedrock, we knew we had to test it and play around with it. And then what we found was transformative. With the transition to Nova, we saw immediate, measurable improvements. So on the left side, you see the latency matrix before and after switching to Nova. Nova delivers us a 1.5x improvement in response time, which is a huge benefit in a real-time user experience. But speed wasn't the only win. On the right, you see the cost impact. Thanks to Nova's optimized inference performance and integration within Bedrock, we now achieve 4.4 times better cost efficiency. That's not just a marginal gain, right? It's a game changer if you want to scale AI-powered search for an enterprise like Siemens. I think these results speak for themselves. Nova gives us faster answers at lower cost, all while staying within our tightly governed enterprise environment. And I'm pretty confident that others that use those models will see similar benefits once they make the switch. Now, since we've laid the foundation with a resilient and efficient AI search system, let's take a look at what this enables us to build. On the left side, you see what we call Siemens Solution Advisor. That's not your typical chatbot, right? It's an AI-powered tool which is designed to help our customers discover the right digital transformation solution based on their needs. And this is also why we've intentionally moved away from that traditional chatbot UI. Experience feels more like a smart advisor than a chat window. On the right side, we are seeing a more familiar interface. Here we are exploring a more conversational AI assistant for Siemens. This is basically where we actively explore classic chatbot use cases like product Q&A, service support, and general information queries. Thanks to the modularity and robustness of our architecture, adding and scaling this kind of assistant is straightforward. So what you're seeing here is just the beginning. With a solid Nova-powered foundation and a multi-agent system like ours, we are not limited to just one interface or use case. We are building a whole ecosystem of AI-driven assistants tailored to context, user expectations, and business value. Let's see where it goes next. And with that, I'm handing back to Manny. Thanks.
Thank you, Fabian. So maybe you're wondering what's next on the roadmap. Before we see what's next on the roadmap, can you remember when our digital journey began? So maybe I can double check if you heard from the beginning, if you can still remember. So it was 39 years ago, 1986, where we started with this Siemens domain registrations, and now we are talking about more digital, interactive communications and interactions with our customers. And yeah, what's coming next? So I'm really glad to be here today, that we could present our use case. I see a lot of great minds, brilliant minds here in this room, so I'm glad you already have great innovations in your mind. So just keep going, collaborate with your partners and with your team members to bring all these different innovations to life. And with that, I'm handing back to Olympia. Thank you for the chance to speak about our experiences.
Thank you, Melanie and Fabian, for sharing the Siemens journey and the learnings with us. Now, time to move on to another cool use case, to another customer, Prime Video. We will see how Prime Video uses Nova to create a narrated video recap of an entire series season. So Nova, Prime Video is mainly using Nova to create this narrated recap, and we know that recaps are actually good. They get users caught up. They also increase the likelihood to watch the next season. However, it's not so straightforward to create a recap. You need to watch hours of videos from the previous season. You need to identify the plot and the key points and scenes that are actually relevant for the next season and stitch them all together. And this process can actually take weeks long. However, Prime Video, using Nova, was able to reduce this to just a matter of hours. And we will take the example of creating a recap for the TV series Bosch Legacy Season 2. So for those of you who actually want to watch the season, sorry for the spoilers. So why did Prime Video pick Nova? Well, mainly for two reasons. The first one is the frontier intelligence. It was trained on a large number of full videos. And secondly, because of the long context. It can process videos that are in a long time. So let's actually see the narrated recap that Nova created.
In the gripping second season of Bosch Legacy, Harry Bosch finds himself entangled in a complex web of murder, corruption, and personal struggles.
Remind me again when you're going to retire?
When people stop killing each other.
The season kicks off with a chilling event. Harry's daughter Maddie is abducted by Kurt Dockweiler. As Bosch frantically searches for Maddie, he clashes with official investigators.
We have to do this the right way. I don't.
With the help of Mo Bossi,
That stuff's classified. Since when has that slowed you down?
they uncover crucial evidence linking Dockweiler to the crime.
Time is running out. Ow! Where is my daughter?
Meanwhile, Maddie fights for survival. After a harrowing search, Bosch finally rescues her. The ordeal takes...
What a recap, right? I might actually give Season 3 a shot on the weekend after watching this recap from Nova. So you might be wondering, how did Prime Video actually build all of this, considering that the recap spanned the whole season of 10 episodes with approximately 7 hours of video content? Well, there are mainly three components. The first one is a synopsis generation, then we have the voice synthesis, and then the visual montage. Let's look into the steps. So the synopsis generation is just the textual representation summary of the videos. It captures the key points, it develops the plot. Then the audio synthesis step takes the synopsis that was just generated and produces a voice narration out of it, and therefore also captures these emotional nuances.
In the gripping second season of Bosch Legacy, Harry Bosch finds himself entangled in a complex web of murder, corruption, and personal struggles.
And the third and the last step in the visual montage, what happens? It extracts the clips that are from the videos that are relevant to the synopsis. It stitches them together, aligning them temporally with the narration, creating therefore the final audio-visual assembly that we just saw.
In the gripping second season of Bosch Legacy, Harry Bosch finds himself entangled in a complex web of murder, corruption, and personal struggles.
So to make a summary, we saw how Prime Video uses Nova's capabilities to create this recap of an entire TV series season. For the last spotlight, and it's actually my favorite one, I want to walk you through the videos that Amazon advertising is generating using Nova. So what's the challenge? We know the advertisements are cool, they are engaging, however, they are costly. So Amazon advertising is using Nova Reel to generate videos and therefore to lower the barrier for the vendors. Why Nova? Because of main reasons are having a set of features to generate these videos, as well as for the responsible AI that Nova Reel comes with. So let's see a video generation from Nova Reel. All right, so I'm definitely going to grab some snacks after this, so feel free to join me. So as next step in resources, we saw different foundation models from the Nova family and how you can use them depending on your use cases. I would encourage you to go ahead and try Nova, go to the Bedrock, test it out, see if it is good for your use cases, and the barcode will actually land you into the Nova website. A quick announcement on the European Sovereign Cloud, and with that said, thank you so much for joining the session, and I hope you have lots of fun for the rest of the summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.